Hey! So, this week we are celebrating Agnetha's birthday on Sunday, 76 years old, and I have asked you to choose your special song of the week devoted to Agnetha as a solo artist. The three song choices were You're There from 1985, Fly Me to the Moon from 2004, and Man from 1983. And you really have chosen, with an incredible majority, the song Man leads with over 70%. You're There has 17% and Fly Me to the Moon 11%. In all our Song of the Week polls so far, we never had a more obvious choice for a winning song. So today we are talking about Agnetha's song Man, her own composition, the context. We will also go further and beyond just to celebrate the music of Agnetha Fältskog for her birthday week, but our focus is the song Man, and there are many special things surrounding this special piece from 1983. For context, on her early solo albums in Swedish before ABBA, Agnetha progressively composed more and more songs herself. So much so that Agnetha became quite an independent singer-songwriter, especially with her third and fourth solo albums. In 1975, during ABBA, for her solo album number 5, Agnetha wrote all the music for the entire album herself, except for the opening song SOS, written by Björn and Benny for ABBA, of course. Agnetha recorded a Swedish version of the song using the same backing track from ABBA's original. In 1979, also during ABBA, Agnetha released a compilation album as a solo artist, combining personal selections of her early years, and she also wrote and recorded a brand new composition herself for this album in Swedish language. The English language version for this new song was called The Queen of Hearts and was eventually released in 1998. And The Queen of Hearts has become a big fan favorite. We will come back to this song later on. And here's also, in context, a quote from ABBA's sound engineer Michael B. Dretov about Agnetha's progression and status as a songwriter. Dretov said, "I considered the Elva Kvinnor I ett hus album as her peak. But then we recorded När du tar mig I din famn, and that became her peak. ABBA took time away from her own thing, because I believe she would have continued developing that side of her. As far as I'm concerned, it was Björn and Benny, Agnetha and Ted Gärdestad who represented the music at that time. They were all just really solid songwriters." And now it's 1983. Agnetha recorded her very first English language solo song for her first solo album in English. Wrap Your Arms Around Me was produced by Mike Chapman, and for this album Agnetha wrote a brand new song on her own, only one, the reflective and thoughtful up-tempo ballad Man. That Agnetha's song Man may have the spirit of an ABBA recording to some people certainly has to do with its production and the backing band. We have, from ABBA's studio band, Rutger Gunnarsson on bass, Lasse Welander on guitar, and Per Lindvall on drums, and the song was engineered, as was the entire album, by Michael B. Dretov. I went through 40 vintage newspaper articles from the time, from 1983. None of them are even mentioning Man. There was so much gossip. I think it is so unfortunate that the music itself never seemed to be recognized in the very first place. That even goes back to the time of ABBA. But That's why we are here, you and I, to really dive into the artistry and the music. And also, our historian and researcher Carl Magnus Palm at least gives this song a mention in his book Bright Lights, Dark Shadows. About Agnetha's Man, Carl Magnus Palm written for the Wrap Your Arms Around Me album, Man was pleasant, if perhaps a little anonymous. Man was track number 10 from 12 on the album, and the song also became the B-side to The Heat Is On, the lead single from the album. In Poland, the B-side, Man, was chosen for radio promotion, and the song even entered the Polish chart in June 1983, where it stayed for 5 weeks, reaching number 15. On television, the song was never performed, but there is a documentary called The Making of Wrap Your Arms Around Me, and we see and hear Agnetha in recording sessions, recording songs for the album, and we even see Agnetha in the recording studio at least miming to the finished mix of her own song, Man. As far as I'm aware, this is the only time ever that the song was featured visually in any program devoted to the promotion of the album, and perhaps that may have been even the only time that the song was ever mentioned. Mike Chapman talks about the freedom of this solo project, how Agnetha was able to say, let's do this any way we want.
I think one of the nice things about doing a solo project is, for both Frida and Agnetha, is they were both able to say, you know, it's like taking the curlers out of the hair and letting the hair fall down and say, right, let's just do this any way we want. There are no preconceived ideas about how Agnetha Fältskog should sound.
And here's Agnetha herself from 1983 talking very briefly about her own composition, Man.
It took me some time to write it. I worked a lot with it, and even with the lyrics.
Quote Agnetha, it took me some time to write it. I worked a lot with it, and even with the lyrics. Here is something very special about the song Man. This is the only English written song by Agnetha for which she herself not only wrote the music, but the English lyrics as well. Agnetha herself wrote the lyrics. That makes this song and composition even more unique and meaningful. And I personally think it's a lovely set of lyrics. The verse goes, I'm part of you now, love of my life, this moment was made for us somehow. Where did you come from and how did it start? Was it a star from heaven that brightened up my heart? The chorus goes, and this is one of my favorite lines, also the way she sings it, that light keeps shining on me since you walked into my life. You're here and now I can see whatever it takes, take care of me. Oh man, don't make me cry, don't let it die. This love, this feeling's gonna grow, I love you, I do. It's very simple, a very straightforward lyric, sweet words of romance and attachment, and the music itself has only one verse at the very beginning, then the song never goes back to any verse. It continues with a pre-chorus, chorus, instrumental interlude, and again pre-chorus and chorus until it fades out. I personally think there is so much atmosphere in this song, all because of this breezy production, but really because of Agnetha's delivery, her voice and interpretation of her very own beautiful melody and lyric. Now on to one of my favorite parts, the voice. Your voice, your feedback and thoughts on the song with praise for Agnetha's voice as well. As I said in the beginning, Man was our winning song of the week by far. People wrote, quote, for me it's no contest, definitely Man. Got to be Man. Please Please Let It Be Man. It was my favorite song from the album, and then when I learned it was the only song Agnetha had written herself, it seemed more important somehow. I think Agnetha's history as a writer, composer and producer is just as important as her history as a vocalist. Her compositions are so very personal and heartfelt. And I couldn't agree more with that, and I hope I brought it home in this video somehow. Agnetha's Man also seems to be the composition that captures her essence as a songwriter. As someone wrote, Man is the best reminder of Agnetha's own older recordings. The song was very often called her best English language song. Someone wrote, Man, for me the most beautiful song Agnetha wrote by herself. Such an outstanding melody. The songs on these albums she wrote are the best songs. Someone else? As a child, I never paid attention to who had written Agnetha's solo songs, but later, to my great surprise, I realized that the songs I had always loved the most were actually composed by Agnetha herself. She is an incredibly talented artist, and her compositions would have fitted perfectly on ABBA's albums too. For someone, the song Man, quote, gave me my ABBA fix in 1983 when there was no more ABBA at that time. Of course, it wouldn't be a voting and it wouldn't be an Agnetha song if we didn't have your voice on Agnetha's voice. Her voice and the production for the song were praised. The latter was called warm and romantic, and Agnetha's delivery on it is superb. Her expression in her voice is perfect. Her singing was described as heavenly beautiful. She sings her heart out on it. A beautiful ballad wrapped in pure emotion that only Agnetha could convey. Someone wrote, Man is so her. That's why I like it. From all those many comments of yours last time, we also have some beautiful personal memories connected to the song Man. Someone wrote, I listened to Man whilst on the ferry to Europe on my first motorcycle tour of Belgium, Netherlands, and a small part of then West Germany. Hard to believe it was so long ago. Someone else's memories and praise. I remember when I bought the Heat Is On single in 1983, I excitedly went home to play the A-side, but when I flipped it over and played the B-side, I loved Man much, much more instantly. Agnetha wrote some wonderful melodies throughout her career, but for me, this is her finest. She has such a unique way of writing harmonies and melodies. They seem perhaps simple at first, but after a while, you realize that true perfection lies in simplicity. And someone else replied to this comment, for me the same, when I bought the single and played the B-side, that was magic, a song I never got tired of listening to. And here's a great thought for the day. Someone left this comment, I truly hope she will go back to writing a few more songs and release them. She has nothing to lose, just gain joy from expressing her true creativity. Maybe get her children or grandchildren to sing them, if she, for some reason, feels unsure about singing her own songs today. Because it's Agnetha's birthday week, because this video is a special episode, we want to continue to celebrate Agnetha and her work. So let's bring together some of your feedback and other songs you picked, songs that weren't even in my poll. Someone simply wrote, God, I love her. Another one wrote, it is impossible to choose a song from such a talented lady. Here's a quote, I know it's not listed, but Can't Shake Loose will always be my favorite Agnetha song. Another one, my favorites are The Last Time, I Was a Flower, Dance Your Pain Away, Fly Like the Eagle, Past Forever, I Keep Them on the Floor Beside My Bed from A+, Geh mit Gott, Maybe It Was Magic. And someone loves the message in the song Take Good Care of Your Children. And here, finally, is some love for the Queen of Hearts. it's someone's most favorite Agnetha Solo song. And that song got more than one voice. Even if it wasn't part of our poll, someone wrote, I would have voted for Queen of Hearts if it was in the poll. I really like both the Swedish and English versions. So, as you can see and feel, these episodes wouldn't be possible, or they wouldn't be as fulfilling if it wasn't for all your feedback, your memories and thoughts, which are also very inspiring. And this was our very special episode, Song of the Week from Agnetha Fältskog. You have chosen the song Man, and we will continue to celebrate Agnetha this week. So please, leave your comments in the comment section down below. What are your favorite solo moments, songs, albums, performances from Agnetha? Leave all your thoughts and memories down in the comments below, and I hope I will see you very soon again. Thank you very much. Alright, until then, hej då!